baker puts her art skills to the test every time she creates whimsical cakes for her customers. She says she loves a good challenge and hopes to launch a business with her daughter someday. This morning, Winnie Dortch takes us to Margie Story's kitchen.
Here we go with the chocolate fudge cake here.
Just like the baker's man in the patty cake song, Margie Story is the baker in her story.
The water, the liquid. If I'm not creating, I'm not as happy as I should be. Sprinkle fairy. I've always been artsy.
And then you said you do that with clay, right?
Yeah, well the chocolate chips are clay.
She got a job at the arts and crafts store Michael's in her late 20s, where she met a cake decorator.
And we became friends, and she was the instructor, and I ended up taking one of her classes. So now we're gonna mix this for 2 minutes.
She went from taking classes to teaching them 5 years later.
So I taught cake decorating classes for 15 years. So then I just started making cakes for friends and family, and it just blew up from there, and it's been crazy ever since.
Her friends told their friends.
So word of mouth was awesome for me.
Customers took delight in her whimsical cakes.
They say, just do your thing. You got this. You know, they trust me to do whatever, so they let me have free reign.
Nothing is too hard, so don't take it easy on her.
I love a good challenge, so nothing seems too crazy to me. The crazier, the better.
Where's your mind at? Or what are you doing when you're creating these cakes?
All over the place. Do you know all the cords in the back of your computer? They're always like a big mess. That's how my head is. So like I'm like all over the place. Like I'm always thinking things last minute. Like, oh, I could add this, or oh, I could add that, and then it just turns into something that's really cool.
And people fall in love with the final product.
The best thing about all of this is everybody's joy. Every time when I show them the cakes and their whole face lights up, that makes everything worth it. Got that down pretty good now.
Story says the cake not only has to look good, but tastes good too.
Yes. Ooh, Margie.
It's like the perfect soft serve. Ooh, she took it all. Because number one to me is taste. If a cake doesn't taste good, you can spend a lot of money on a cake and it looks really good, but if it doesn't taste good, then you're wasting your money. And then I'm gonna flip it onto the pan here.
She has a culinary degree, but believe it or not, she's in baking school.
But when you're making a cake or cookies, it's a science. You have to have so much of this and so much of that. Everything has to be weighed. Everything has to be measured. It's so different. And that's what we're learning now. This is the middle of the cake.
The best part about going to school.
And to have like my best friend by my side is just the greatest.
Story and her daughter are in the same classes. She's a cook and a baker like Mom. The apple doesn't fall too far from the tree.
We both were talking about doing the baking thing together, and I can't even tell you how exciting it is. It's to have like my daughter with me as an adult, and just the fun that we're having, and we're always crazy together.
They're hoping to open a business.
I want to make sure it's all even. We're thinking like breakfast bakery kind of thing. So that's exciting too.
Keeping it all in the family, because Margie Story wants to keep this story going.
This is my passion. I'm a perfectionist, so I'm like, don't leave it alone until it's like perfectly smooth.